Yeah, yeah. That clip I just played there pretty much sums it up. This show is fucking amazing. What's up, guys? Dr. Senpai here, and I'm back from a pretty long trip, so I'm pretty tired, but during that trip, I was able to watch My Hero Academia, and let me tell you something. Go beyond plus ultra to the fucking max, bro. Oh my god. This show is pretty damn good. So I'm here to talk about it, my little anime review. I started my anime reviews with Dragon Ball Super. So here we go with My Hero Academia. So what is My Hero Academia about? Well, simple plot. This plot is about Izuku Deku Midoriya. His nickname is Deku by another character I'll talk about in a minute. And he's basically a kid who grows up in a superhero world where everyone's superpowers are called quirks. He wasn't born with a quirk, and his childhood friend slash rival, and pretty much his bully, his dickhead, is Kacchan Bakugo, who is this other kid with explosion powers. And there's like one thing you'll notice if you start watching the show is that there's definitely like a Sasuke Naruto rivalry going on here. They ain't slick. I've seen this shit before. I am a shonen veteran. I have watched a lot of Naruto, so I know this shit already. But you know what? That's not entirely bad, because I have to say something. My Hero Academia does some things that are that it just does things better than Naruto in certain aspects. And well, basically, so back to kind of to the main plot. So basically, Izuku Midoriya, or Deku, that's his superhero name slash nickname will be. He basically wants to become a superhero, but he doesn't have a quirk, so he's going to work hard until one day he meets the number one pro hero in the world. The number one superhero, basically, the strongest guy ever. All Might. And All Might is basically a hero who's like really, he basically has super strength. He's like the strongest superhero in the world. And one day, Izuku gets in contact with him, and is revealed that All Might has secrets. He has a secret where 5 years prior, to the beginning of the show of the anime, it was revealed that All Might had a weakness. He basically got hurt, and he basically can transform into like, if you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about, where he's like muscular and like shadowy. One side he has like really weird shadowing on his character, which is pretty cool. He has the most unique character design of the whole show. And then it's revealed that he transforms into like a really sick, weak version where he just like spits blood all the time. It's really gross. And all that was like really skinny with like messed up hair and shit. And that's basically revealed what his true form is after he got injured. And he's been kind of that way for a while. And he's been looking for a successor to pass on his quirk, which is called One for All. One for All is a quirk that basically like makes people, it's a quirk that's like makes people really powerful and strong, and basically like heightens their abilities. You have to see the show to have a real good description. I'm kind of being vague here, but basically it's a quirk that can be passed down. So he passes down to Midoriya, and he's basically training this One for All to become the most powerful superhero. And the story in the anime is kind of narrated by Izuku a little bit, like probably to the future, where he's talking about like, this is the story how I became the number one pro hero. I'm not quite sure about it, but it's pretty cool how that is. And I gotta say, just like, this show just does a number of things better than Naruto. I'm gonna compare a lot to Naruto because that's like the main shonen anime I've seen. And I'm pretty sure this is a shonen anime because it's a lot like a shonen one. So, you know, it has a teen kid with like teens and like growing up, coming of age stories where, you know, they're the outcasts and they become better and all that. It's pretty interesting, but it's basically, one of the things the show does better is the side characters. There's a lot of side characters, other students that go to this high school called UA High School, and they have their names and they have background stories on their quirks too. And it's pretty interesting. And what they kind of do with those characters is they give them a full backstory, and instead of just like having, hey, we're gonna have a little character development for some characters, Naruto, with, you know, like certain characters, and then we're just gonna drop them for like whole seasons. and then they'll come back again, have a little bit more, dialogue, and just they get dropped forever. No. In My Hero Academia, majority, like 70% of like the cast, the side character cast are there, get, a lot of development, which is really special. I find that kind of like, wow, that's really fucking cool. A lot of these characters get like, backstory to them. There's like teachers at the ZUA high school who are also superheroes and all that with their cool powers, and all the quirks are pretty much unique, and some are similar too. Like some people have similar powers and all that. Like there's two guys, one guy called Injiro and this other guy named Tetsu, who have similar powers, where Injiro has hardening powers where he turns his skin into like hard rock, and Tetsu has the power of steel where he basically turns full metal around his body, and he also hardens, and they have similar powers and all that. It's pretty interesting. Not the same powers, but similar, except for Izuku, obviously, because his got passed down. And, it's just, as the story develops, it just gets more interesting with these characters. I am midway through Season 3 right now. I binged a lot of this shit. It's pretty fucking cool. Like, Season 2 was really good. I don't really have a favorite season so far, but it's just been really interesting. And, like, some of the main side characters who are pretty cool, like, there's this frog girl named Suyu Asui. Yeah, she's, like, this frog chick and all that. She has frog power. She's kind of laid back and all that. She's a character. There's this one dude. I can't get his name. Benda or something like that. He basically he calls himself like Grape Rush or something like that, where he has like a purple costume and his hair looks like grapes, and he basically pulls them off and he throws them and they stick to things. And he's also the pervert of this series, which is kind of funny. He has some pretty funny lines. He's pretty interesting. And then there's this other guy named Tenya Ida or something like that, where he's basically like this dude with like engines in his legs and all that, which is kind of interesting because I keep saying interesting a lot. Sorry, I'm tired. But there's like certain characters who have, with their quirks, they have like stuff on their body. Like some people have wings, some people have extra arms and shit. There's a character who has extra arms as their quirk and all that, which is kind of unique. He has like, he can transfer body parts to each of his arms, which is kind of weird. So it's pretty cool. And basically, Ida or Tenya Ida or something like that, he has engines in his calves, and he can run fast. He's the Flash. Except probably a lot slower, but who knows. And he's basically going to be a hero too. So it's just really interesting how these characters develop. Oh, and then there's this other chick who Izuku has a crush on named Uraraka, and she controls gravity and all that. She's kind of interesting. She has character development. Like each character has good, solid character development. That's what I like about animes, when the characters, are fleshed out. Naruto, not too much with some of their characters. A lot of characters are left down to dust. Like, seriously. But I can seriously see how these characters in My Hero Academia, these students, become more interesting. Like, there's this kid named Shoto Todoroki in Season 1 who was, like, basically silent. All everyone knew about him was, like, he got in the class for recommendation, and he has ice powers, and half of his face is red, including his hair, and the other side is, like, white and all that. And he gets really cool character development later, where it's like, well, it turns out he's the son of the second the second top pro hero of the world, this guy called Endeavor, who has, like, fire powers, and it's revealed he kind of has, like, a dark past and all that. He's basically the Gaara of this series. Like, a weird dark past. He was used as a weapon by his dad or something like that. His dad has power and all that. And Shoto has an interesting quirk where his is, like, he has, like, half ice, half fire and all that. And he never uses his fire side until the second season, where he fights Midoriya and all that, which is pretty cool. And his fire side is pretty dangerous. So it's kind of interesting. And and of course there's the Bakugo character, who will probably get revealed later, but I'm not sure why he's always angry all the time. He's usually pissed off a lot and kind of a dick. But his whole thing is everyone looks up to All Might, the number one hero in this series. And that's kind of interesting how pretty much their backstories are all traced around All Might. Not everyone's, but a lot of people look up to All Might. And that clip I showed was during the second to last episode of the season, where he shows up during a villain's ambush, where these people called the League of Villains ambush this training center, and basically they have basically this mindless creature and everything called a Nomu, who's like really powerful, who's supposed to be made to fight and beat All Might, but All Might beats him with one of the coolest moments in the series ever. You guys really have to see it, where he basically uses his power, All Might's power, to basically do a smash, which is like basically their punches in this series with One for All, and he sends them rocketing in the sky. That's pretty cool too. So just a lot of cool stuff, and the animation looks great in this show, and just like the overall story, I really dig it. The show made me felt like I was watching Saturday morning Justice League cartoons, the old Justice League cartoons, like with Batman, or like the Batman animated series cartoons. It just made me, well, specifically the Justice League cartoons and Justice League Unlimited, because those were my shit back in the day. So this show started reminding me of that, and I was like, wow, this feels amazing, because I love superhero stuff, just like One Punch Man. This series has been compared to One Punch Man. It's not super, comparative in a way, like One Punch Man isn't like a shonen or some shit like that. That's not like a weird, oh, Saitama's a kid and all that, he's grown. No, he's already like that, and that's a different story all in itself, which one day I will do a One Punch Man review, because I've already seen that series before, and there'll be more anime reviews coming. But anywho, like this show was just really interesting. I like it a lot so far. I have certain favorite moments. Like my favorite moment of all time was the clip I showed at the beginning, because yeah, it's pretty lit. You guys would have to see the whole show to basically get. You guys would have. I really recommend checking out this show. It's really good. You just have to see, some of the stuff that comes in the story, and there's a growing plot to it, which is interesting too. That's coming out of it, and this is like one of the overrated animes, you might say, where I think it deserves it. This show is awesome. It's fucking amazing. And it's overrated right now, but it actually deserves the hype and all that. Like, Attack on Titan is overrated and overhyped. Well, nowadays, not much, but I don't think that show really deserves the hype as much. I've seen a little bit of it. I didn't really like it that much and read a little bit of the mangas. But this show definitely does. And you just have to see for yourself, like, these really cool, unique superpowers. I really recommend you see it. Like, there's just really cool character moments. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm basically giving this anime a fucking, 9.5 out of 10, only because it just has a little bit of pacing issues. Like, it's kind of weird how there's not really a big consistency, where season 1 was 13 episodes, and then season 2 was 30 plus episodes, which is kind of weird when you watch season 2, so be warned of that. I have a Verve subscription, premium subscription, so I'm able to watch it there. I'm sure you can figure out ways to watch it. I watch it dubbed, and the dub is really strong, and I really like it. Chris Sabat, the man, voices All Might, and he's amazing as All Might, so that's something you can see there. But otherwise, I think it has a little bit of pacing issues, where it's just a lot of episodes. Not every episode, there's not, and wait, another thing this show does, I forgot to mention, another thing this show does really good is not a lot of filler. So, you're not going to find a lot of filler in this show. It's all pretty straightforward with the plot. But there's just a lot of episodes where I think certain plot-heavy episodes, because there's plot-heavy episodes in the show, but I just think they can just cram a few in with each other. Just, there's a lot of pacing with the show that's a little off, and I have no idea how long the third season's going to be. So, we'll see there, but otherwise, definitely check out this show. I fucking love it. It's great. Can't wait to see more about it. So, stay tuned for more anime reviews. Peace out, guys.